Hi, and welcome to T Transitions, the podcast for women building a life abroad. I'm Rose Davenport.
Hi, I'm Farah Baker. We are here for the highs, the lows, and everything in between. The what am I doing here moments.
And just a little snippet T Transitions is a podcast dedicated to highlighting the emotional, the cultural, and personal journeys of women navigating major life changes from relocation and identity shifts to career pivots and beyond. Personally, I migrated from Singapore to the US 25 years ago, so I have experienced firsthand what it's like when you are just moving into a new environment and trying to settle down, looking for a job, looking for a community, looking for your people. And with that journey, I then came up with this T transitions moment so that we women can continue to talk about our journey in hope that we can empower other listeners and take some of our experience to help them to move forward. So without further ado,
Our guest today is
Marion,
Marion.
Marion.
welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Now, Marion
Excellent.
is based in Singapore. She's originally from Switzerland. Now, tell us, how long have you been in Singapore?
It has been 2.5 years now. I moved here to November 2022.
Okay. Now, what was the reason for moving to Singapore?
My ex-boyfriend's job, actually. I had
Ah.
just graduated my master's in political science from University of Zurich, and my boyfriend at that time had a job opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to relocate to Singapore for 1 or 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been the perfect timing for me. So yeah, I decided to join him on this adventure.
Okay.
Awesome.
So right now you are a content creator from our
Yes.
understanding. And apart from being a content creator, do you have a day job as well in Singapore?
No, so I'm a full-time content creator, and the thing is, it actually was never my plan to do this full time. When I
Mm-hmm.
first got here, I was so positive in finding a job. I was looking for a corporate job because I had a good job offer in Zurich, so I was very
Mm-hmm.
confident coming here, being like,
Mm.
"Oh, I will find a job. This is not going to be a problem,"
Yeah.
which I was so wrong about. I made
Oh,
over 65 applications. I wouldn't even get interviews. I was so frustrated.
Mm.
And that was mainly the reason why I started an Instagram account to show my mom and my friends what I
Mm.
was up to in Singapore, my love for hawker food.
Yeah.
And that's when the whole thing started.
Mm.
right,
Okay,
right.
cool.
So as you can tell, we are wearing white and red is the national color of Singapore. I just want to throw it out there. Happy
Happy National
birthday,
Day.
Singapore,
Yeah,
60th
happy
birthday.
National Day.
So did you have a good time out there looking at the fireworks celebrations tonight?
Yeah, it was amazing. I had a friend, she hosted a party and she has a great view on Marina Bay Sands, so we could from the
Ooh,
apartment see the fireworks.
nice.
That was
Nice.
Very nice.
amazing.
Very
Yeah.
nice. So I just want to acknowledge that I reached out to you because of the fact that we are originally from Singapore and having to understand the lifestyle in Singapore, what it's like as an expat. Can you give us an idea of what that journey for you looked like as an individual? Was there a culture shock for you at that time?
To be honest, the culture shock was not as big as I had expected. Singapore is such a well-developed country, and comparing it to Switzerland, I would say even more developed, even more
Mm,
convenient. The
yeah.
technique and the technology here is even better, starting from 24-hour shops, 24-hour open shops, to home delivery from groceries, 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes that arrives at my door,
Mm-hmm.
hospital, public transport, everything works like clockwork. So by coming here and starting my life here, I didn't really have a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
And also, obviously, the fact that everyone speaks English so well, there was no language barrier. So
Mm-hmm.
that was very,
Very
very easy
helpful.
to get started. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, Singaporeans have been just such a blessing. Everyone has been so nice to me. And I was actually surprised how welcomed I felt as an expat by
Mm-hmm.
Good.
locals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the culture shock was relatively small. I mean,
That's
of
what
course,
I
there were like
tell.
small things. Sorry?
Yeah, that I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's what I tell a lot of foreigners who would like posting in Asia. Singapore is the best way to ease yourself into
Yeah.
Asia. because the transition is
100%.
so much easier. But I'm sure there are things that you miss, right, from home in terms of homesickness.
It's interesting. I made a few videos about what I miss about Switzerland. And I think, saying stuff like my mom and my brother, my friends, that doesn't really count. That's very
Yeah,
obvious.
correct.
Besides that, there are so few things. One thing that comes to my mind is I love like Swiss natural Greek yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cheap item at the grocery store. Like it's like Quark, it's called. It's like curd, but very
Mm-hmm.
thick
Mm.
yogurt. You cannot find it in Singapore, or
Mm-hmm.
cottage cheese you can't find.
Mm-hmm.
Or good bread, like fresh bakeries is very rare here in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Other than that, I cannot think of anything. And I don't know if this is, sad or good because I cannot think of anything. The only thing that
Wow.
comes to my mind as well is in Switzerland, you have this very, very clear blue sky, and at night you get to see the stars, which you rarely get in Singapore, like this
Yeah.
very crisp blue sky.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not something that it really affects my daily life, and I, think about it like every single day.
Yeah.
So other than that, I do not miss a lot, as you can see.
Do you miss the Four Seasons?
No, I
No?
don't. And I'm probably the only person in Singapore who's never complaining about the weather because the weather for me is absolutely perfect. I don't think it's too hot. I don't think it's too humid. I honestly only complain about the air condition in
Being too
public
cold.
transport
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
we're being too cold. The weather is for me is my absolute dream weather. Yeah.
Oh.
So tell me then, what is a day in the life as Marion look like right now?
That is so, so different. Every single day is so different for me. I usually wake up quite late because I tend to work until 3 or 4 a.m.
Mm.
The main reason is because I can really focus at night. Everyone's asleep. I don't have my phone on. I'm just like in my tunnel. So I work until like almost like 4 a.m. sometimes in the morning. So I sleep in around like 10. And then I usually start my day with a workout. Is it Pilates
Mm.
or yoga or any sort of workout? And then whatever is on for the day, is it a filming for a video for a campaign, a food review? Is it a campaign with a beauty clinic, which was yesterday? I was filming for a facial. Then at night, usually there's events, or even in the afternoons, there are events. It's every single day is so different. If I have my YouTube filming days, I film and record my YouTube videos at home. At night, I usually do editing, and in between, I have free time to meet friends for coffee, or I
Mm.
just do my own things.
Sounds like a full day.
Yeah, honestly, I think people underestimate how much I work and
Mm.
Mm.
um how tough it can be to be a full-time creator because I don't have anyone to tell me, okay, now it's 6 p.m., you go home and rest for the day, or you
Yeah.
have a weekend. My
Mm.
job is 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and I also never finish. There's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
always something to do. So it's never that I feel like, okay, now I'm done for the day, I can relax. And because I'm honestly so passionate about what I do, and I'm very grateful that this is my job,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm working constantly all
Yeah.
the time at some
Mm.
point, which doesn't feel like work. So I'm not complaining because I really love what I do.
Because you
But yeah,
enjoy
it's
it. That's why you don't feel
yeah,
it. It's a
yeah,
burden. But
yeah,
don't forget, we are also human being. We can only last so much working in a day. So being self-employed, I can definitely relate how much you have to have good discipline and good work ethic to get the work done, right?
yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, too, I was just wondering, what do you do to take care of your mental being, your wellness?
I love reading a book, and I every single day before going to sleep, I'm gonna read in a physical book. And that book is not nothing smart. It's just a love story or
Mm-hmm.
a thriller or
Yeah.
anything that I just don't have to use my brain for. And it has to be a physical book, like no screen. And I can just read for another hour just in my bed, eating some ice cream. I'm obsessed with ice cream. So eating,
Do you like
eating it,
Haagen-Dazs?
oh, I love it. I love it. But I actually also love potong from like Fair Price,
Ah. Oh,
durian or
the
red
the
bean.
the bread ones. Ah.
No, or like just the sticks one,
The
the
stick ones.
the
Ah,
potong
okay.
sticks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could easily like this is my guilty pleasure. Just
Mm,
spooning a tub of ice cream and reading in my book is
yeah.
what I really do and enjoy.
You are our second guest who loves to read and
Yes.
actual physical books like myself. I'm old school. I like the feel of books. I like the smell of books, and that's my downtime. Exactly that. No screen time.
Yeah.
Very important.
Because basically all my work is
Mm.
on my
On the
phone.
screen.
Like
Yeah.
even like laptop is not even that much. I edit on my phone.
Mm.
So my phone is like this
Mm.
honestly the whole day. I do not want to look at my screen time because I'm so scared what number is going to pop up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need some time of the day where I'm just not having a screen in front of my face.
I totally understand. Unlike her, I actually work for a company, and I do not even have a laptop or a tablet at home. I refuse to have one because I don't want to look at another screen. The phone is more than
Mm,
enough, and I,
hmm
I want to be able to cut myself off from work in that
hmm
sense. Yeah.
hmm
So, how long do you think this journey of yours in Singapore will be? Are you like there for good, or is there a Marion 2.0 in Thailand, or in Burma somewhere, in Myanmar?
Um, this is a very good question, and I do not like to answer this question because I I know that life always has different plans for the actual
Mm-hmm.
plans that you have. 2 years ago, I was so determined to be in Singapore for 1 year, go back with my boyfriend, get married, and
Mm-hmm.
here I am 2 years later in a completely different situation.
Yeah.
I can only speak for the minute I'm standing here right now, which
Mm-hmm.
is I truly, truly love Singapore and I've never felt so happy in a place. And I would love to make this my home for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do not say never. I don't know what happens next year. Maybe, I'm moving to Hawaii and I open my, I don't know, surf shop. I don't know. This is not in my plan, but I just learned from the past 2 years that I'm not closing any doors. I'm
Mm-hmm.
open to embrace any situation that is, or like any door that opens for me.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I would love to stay in Singapore for as long as I can and even get PR if there's a chance at one
Mm-hmm.
point. So I do not have any plans to leave, and yeah, my love for Singapore is unbroken.
That's good answer. Very good. And you explore what's out there too. So it's your clientele list open globally in the sense Singapore and surrounding areas? Are you also working with folks like in other places, other countries?
My main target audience and my main follower base is Singapore. I started this account in Singapore, and my
Mm-hmm.
content is mainly directed to Singapore. But I also work with companies and brands in other countries. For example, I work with Japan Tourism Board, where I promoted the Skyliner from Narita Airport into the city, Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
I work with hotels in Hong Kong. I work with
Mm-hmm.
hotels in Bali, in and Switzerland, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm open. Like in Indonesia, I had some clients recently in
Mhm.
Batam
Mm-hmm.
and in Jakarta. So I'm like open to Southeast Asia, and I would love to expand my
Mm.
follower base to Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it takes a bit of time,
Mm-hmm.
and for the majority is Singapore.
Okay.
What can you then advise? Sorry, we have a very high active cat running around.
Yeah. She's wanting some attention.
And
Arya,
I
sit
I
down.
cannot hear. I can.
but she's very shy one too
Yeah.
when she wants to be. I'm just curious, if there's out there listeners who are interested to find out what is the groundbreaking for them to be, an influencer, following
hmm
exactly the footstep that you
hmm
have laid down for yourself.
hmm
If there is any advice or guidance that you can
hmm
share to the listeners
Yeah,
today,
of
what would
course.
that be?
Of course, I mean, I also work as a social media coach where I do exactly what you just asked. People come towards me and ask me, hey, I also want to do this. Where do I even get started?
Mm.
And my very first question always is, why? Why do you want to do that? What's your reason behind it? Is it you just want to, become a little bit of famous? Do you
Mm.
actually want to make your living with it? Do you just want to have fun and build a new community? So I think the why is very important because I think it looks very shiny from the outside, as
Mhm.
in, I get a lot of presents, I get a lot of cool invites and travels, but what other people don't see is the work behind the camera. I spend
Mm,
so much time editing and scripting and filming. And if you do not like producing videos and editing, this job is not for you because that's
mm,
50% of the job. And there's also so much admin work. So if the question is, I really just want to, earn a lot of money like in a fast way, I think this job is not for you. I think you
mm,
would be better off in, I don't know, investing in crypto. I don't know. So I think to if you can answer this question by I genuinely love being creative, creating
Mhm.
videos, connecting with people,
mm,
sharing knowledge, sharing what is important to you, then I think you're on the right path.
mm,
And then the second question would be, what do you want to post about and
mm.
Mhm.
what makes you special? Because we have so many creators out there,
Yeah.
and you have to ask yourself, how can you differentiate yourself from the crowd? And
Mm-hmm,
what is your unfair advantage?
mm-hmm,
And I think a lot of people also think, I just want to post a little bit of lifestyle, just
mm,
whatever I do, like a daily life, what I do in a day. But people out there don't care about you. They also don't care about myself. They only
mm-hmm,
care about themselves and what value you can bring to them. So
mm,
as long as you can't provide them with the value, it's going to be very hard for you to grow an audience.
mm,
So deciding on who you want to reach, who's your target audience, what you want to post about, what's your niche. We call this what's your niche, like what's your
mm-hmm.
topic. Because if you share everything and if you want to please everyone, you're not going to please anyone at all.
Yeah.
So finding your package, finding your unfair advantage is very, very important.
Mm.
And it's
So,
it, it's worth it to spend a lot of time in creating this outline, this frame
mm,
before you actually get started.
okay. Now, what does the future look like for your content creating at this point? Because as you say, there are a lot of creators out
Yeah,
there with,
yeah.
lifestyle and all. So what makes yours particularly special, apart from a Swiss living in Singapore? What
I
were
mean, I'm
you
not gonna
hoping?
lie.
Mm,
I think, okay, this is like two questions in one, right? To answer your question, what makes myself special? I think
mm,
I do have an unfair advantage just by the fact that I'm the Swiss girl living in Singapore. I'm not sure how many, tall blonde girls there are at hawker centers finding the best chicken rice. So
yeah.
I think it was very easy for me to connect with the local audience because I feel like I'm a local myself. Sometimes I feel like I've
I
been
think so
born
too,
in
from
Yeah.
looking at some of your
country.
videos. Yeah.
So I think this has been a big part of why I was able to grow so fast. So
Mm,
that was my unfair advantage. And I still try to double down on that and making this comparison between coming from Switzerland and then now living in Singapore
mm,
is I think what helps me to stand out from the crowd. And then to answer your second question, what's my future looking like is definitely growing my personal brand even further. And this year or the last year, as I was able to grow my following and my reach, there's been so many small doors opening. Right now, I'm working on a really exciting project with, for example, a TV show.
mm,
I started to do hostings. I want to go more into public speaking as well. So
mm.
there's so many different
Outlets.
pathways.
Yes.
I love whatever, yeah, as mentioned, whatever door has been opening for
Open for you.
me,
Yeah.
or had opened for me. I'm willing to see. I'm so open to anything, as
Mm,
long I always say, and I think I'm so blessed and grateful that I can say this. If you gave me $1 million tomorrow, what would I do tomorrow? I would still do it exactly the same.
mm,
Being able to create videos, connect with other people, connect with like-minded people is what I enjoy doing. And as long as I can do that and make a living of it,
mm-hmm,
I think that's the greatest gift I can have.
mm. You see, I like your mindset of, if life throws you this, open this door for you, you are willing to try it. And
Yeah,
that's also the mentality of someone who has relocated, thrown into the deep end of like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I came here, I was supposed to do this, it didn't work
Yeah.
out. I could go home, but I didn't. And instead, you stayed and you found a niche for yourself there. Now, you did political science, correct?
yeah.
In your master's. Do you feel that in any way that has helped you in your creating?
I think like as in creating itself, not directly. But what is has helped me is, problem solving. I have written so many essays, written so many exams. So the fact that I have a proper education, I can read, like I'm good with grammar, I can write
Mm-hmm.
emails, I have like I also did some economics courses. This is what I do is a startup, it's a business, right?
Mm,
And
yeah, exactly.
if you want it to be a business, you have to treat it like a business. I think
Mm,
my whole studies gave me the right mindset on how to be an entrepreneur, how to
mm,
negotiate, how to stand up for myself, how to, yeah, have the financial aspect in the back of my mind. And I
mm,
think that's what I learned during my studies. But like the actual topics on
yeah.
like, what policy now is the best for
Mm.
which country,
Yeah,
it has not helped me.
Okay.
right.
Mm.
Being a self-employed myself, we just like you, I have to be on the ball, looking at my calendar, meetings after meetings, never ending, right? There's only so much you can done in 24 hours. I'm curious to know if you get so overwhelmed emotionally, how do you stay grounded? How do you handle that situation? What do you do?
I call my mom.
Ah, that's the
Um,
best answer.
I think without my mom, I mean, everyone who follows my account knows how close I am to my mom. And without her, I don't think I would be where I am today.
Mm.
I mean, there's been so many mental breakdowns. And, even when I'm stuck with a campaign and I can't get things work, I'm crying and I call my mom. It's like, this is so stupid, mom. Like, I don't want to do this. And she's been my biggest supporter from day one.
That's
And
all. Mm,
she I wouldn't be here without her, and also my brother. They've been so
mm.
supportive. So whenever I feel down or I feel like I'm stuck, I'm just calling them and then we'll find a solution together and then the world looks better immediately.
Oh, that is incredible. You see, so your support system technically is still away
Yeah.
from you. So do you have any kind of support system in Singapore? Like among your friends
Yes.
maybe or anything like that? I
Yeah,
know
for
mom
sure.
is
Like,
key. Your family is key, but is there anyone locally that you can depend on?
yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful for the friends I
Mm,
made here and the friendships I've built. It's not easy, and it took me a while to really find my people as well. But
mm,
to that day, at least I can probably have 5 friends in my WhatsApp I could call today in this
mm-hmm.
very second, and they would help me out with anything. I feel very, very supported.
Yeah. You see, that is for us. We know this because
Hmm.
we've been here. I've been here 15 years and she's been here 25 years.
Hmm.
And our community, that doesn't necessarily mean people of the same race or anything, but these are, your relationships that you can draw on
Right.
when you need help in a foreign land,
Yeah.
which is
Yep.
which is very
Yeah.
key.
And I'm
I
just
wanted to
now,
add on something. I wanted
yeah.
to add on something what onto the question before, like the
Mm,
things that, constantly changes and like being open to explore new things is, I think especially in this industry, social media is changing so fast. And
mm,
if you're not open to embrace
Mm.
changes and are open to new opportunities, I think
mm,
you have no future in this industry.
yeah.
Because even since I've started, the whole social media game has changed so much. Instagram has changed a million times within 2 years. So if you're not willing to adapt and like constantly try new things, it's also very
Mm,
exhausting, right? I cannot post the same content that I've started
Mm-mm.
with 2 years ago. You always
mm,
have to reinvent yourself and
mm,
try new things and maybe, throw again a lot of spaghettis on the wall and see what sticks.
mm.
So if you don't have this growth mindset and adapting um mindset, then it's very hard.
Mm. I'm very proud of you, honestly,
Mhm.
because social media is a beast on its own. There's so many challenges, there's so many competitions, there's so many blockage out there. But you, as a woman, you've proven to yourself and us as other women too, that you came in knowing that you can do this, you take the challenge and you go for it. You connected with the locals to begin with because there's no language barrier. Food glued yourself with your people and your audience. And that's pretty much in Singapore. It's nothing but food.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
We are
true.
foodie ourselves,
That's
right?
so true. That's so true.
If there is a magic wand given to you right now for you to undo and tweak your journey, think about the hiccups that you went through, the roller coaster rides. What would you change?
I think I would change my sorrows and tell myself everything is going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. And I think looking back, I've been to so many crossroads where I was like, I know everything happens for a reason, but fuck is
Mm-hmm.
this?
Yeah.
And I was so close of giving up and I worried so much. And I'm a very emotional person.
Mhm.
Um, I think I would have just told myself, have a little bit more faith in you and your journey.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have spared me, my mom, and everyone around me a lot of
Heartache.
emotional,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, because I truly believe like as long as you do not give up and if as long as you work hard and keep going, there's going to be a solution at the end of the day.
Mm.
That's
And
true.
it might not be the solution that you've hoped for in the beginning, but it might be even better. But there is going to be one.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it sounded like, you are one of the million of influencers out there who actually made it and did it really well for yourself. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
And
you.
my hope is that this conversation will encourage women out there to take the positiveness of this conversation and tweak it to make theirs.
Yeah.
And, for us, this is what we're doing. We want to empower our other women to listen to your stories, the untold stories, because on the surface, we may look honky dory, what do you call it?
Hunky dory.
Hunky dory, excuse me. But behind the scene is the sorrows,
Yeah.
is the
Mhm.
headache, is the frustration that people don't know. But we still have to keep that face value up front because we have audience, right? What's home to you today? It's you talk about long term, potentially hoping Singapore is your home base, but right now,
Mhm.
what does home look like for you?
I do feel Singapore is home for me, but I also learned that home is necessarily, or like not necessarily a place, but also the people you're with.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Um, when I'm with my mom, obviously, I feel like home is where my mom is. I think this will change if I have a family, if I start a family. I think home can be anywhere where my family will be.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, a physical location is Singapore. Singapore is home for me.
Mm. That's a good way to see it actually, because then that way you are very adaptable and you can move pretty easily without,
Yeah.
holding on to anything too tightly in that sense. That makes change so much easier in
Right.
that sense. Well, Marion, thank you so much for coming on with us. We're very happy to hear of your journey and thank you for sharing with our audience, your heartaches as well as your successes. We congratulate you on this. um Audience, today, if you've heard something that resonated with you, we would like for you to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for updates and subscribe. If you're interested in being a guest, please reach out to us via DM at hello@ptransitions.com. Every story matters to us. Nothing is too small, nothing is too big. We are grateful that you would want to share with us so that we in turn can share with our audience all over so that they can learn something in their journey of change.
And to that too, we will include all of your social media handles, Marian, so that we can encourage followers to also look at your content and follow you. And if there's any brands out there who wants to partner with Marian and collab, that will be information shared with you at the bottom of this comment page here.
Yeah.
Again,
Also, I want to mention like I'm very responsive in my Instagram DMs. I answer every single DM I get. I answer every email, every comment. So whatever question you have, I'm gonna answer everything.
awesome.
Thank you
Well,
so
again,
much.
thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
good
for
luck in
having me.
everything you do. Safe travel and you take care.
Thank you so much. Have a
Ciao.
great
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.